When I saw you guys suggesting this video, my first thought was, wow, how did I forget this one already? My second thought was, I've got to do this like right now. So I did. I guess there's no reason to tell you guys that though. Today we're going to Jamaica to look at some truly unique and bone-chilling stories that you will not forget in a hurry. Trust me. My name is Burke and this is the top 10 scary Jamaican urban legends. Starting off at number 10 now, we have duppies. This is a word of Jamaican origin meaning ghost or spirit. They are generally regarded as evil, coming out to haunt people at night. They've been seen by many Jamaicans and come in a number of different forms, some of which we will be discussing later. A duppy is regarded as a powerful being that can visit at any time of the day or night and cause havoc or pain to invoke maximum fear in their chosen victim. They are often the soul of a dead person that can take on human or animal form and sometimes even appear as a bull-like creature bound in chains. Many people fear that when their enemies die they will come back to haunt them as a duppy. Now, contrary to popular belief, this works alongside the belief in heaven. You see, it's thought that after death the soul of a person deemed as good goes to heaven to be judged by God. Before that, the spirit remains attached to the body for 3 days. Now, this is the time when the spirits have a chance to escape and become a duppy. Duppy sightings often describe them violently attacking people, sometimes even with rocks, other times by violently shaking them. We have a specific type of duppy now at number 9 with the rolling calf. Some say this is the worst and most feared of all the spirits. The rolling part of the name literally means roaming. It's a shapeshifter that can appear in a number of different forms. It's said that the most common are that of a hornless goat, black or white or spotted. One of its front legs is human, the other is that of a horse, and the two back legs are goats. Its tail curls over its back, its eyes are red and glow like blazing fires, its nose spits hot flames. There's a collar on its neck with a chain that rattles and drags on the ground, warning people of its approach. A rolling calf is created from the soul of an especially evil person. Murderers will almost always return as a rolling calf. They seek to continue their evil ways by blowing bad breath on people, which can cause all kinds of calamity and suffering, even death. They are said to be found in bamboo and cottonwood as well as caves and abandoned houses. Even so, they have been known to turn up pretty much wherever they please, bringing fear into the hearts of those in the area. Next up at number 8 now, we have Old Haig. This is said to be a witch-like creature who is particularly gross in my opinion. She's said to shed her skin and fly by night, taking on the form of an evil owl. Her weapon of choice to kill humans is to suck out their breath when they are sleeping. Using this method, she is said to be especially dangerous to babies. However, her need to shed skin, while disgusting, is also the source of her weakness. They say you need to put salt and pepper on the shed skin that you find. When she then tries to put the skin back on to gain her protective powers, she won't be able to because it will burn too much. As the layers keep shedding, she becomes weaker and vulnerable to attack. Some versions of the story state that the person who finds the skin of Old Haig must say the words "salt and pepper for your mama" while pouring the mixture onto the skin. Others say that laying an open Bible beside a baby crib to protect them from the witch will also work. Creepy stuff. Next up at number 7 now, we have River Mumma. This is essentially a mermaid. Jamaican legend says that she inhabits the country's rivers and that all the fish are her children. Some people say she climbs out of the river to sit on the rocks and comb her long black hair. She may be a sight to see, but locals say you should never look at her, even for a moment. There's no telling what she will do if you try. Some say a single peek will cause you to fall into a deep trance. At that point, she'll grab you by the heels and drag you right under the river. Now, of course, with a creature like this on the loose, you may think people would want to put an end to the creature, but that's not a good idea. They say if you try to catch River Mumma, all the fish in that river will disappear and the river will run dry. The best course of action is to just hope you don't cross paths with her. Now we have Annie Palmer. Many in Jamaica have heard of this famous ghost. She's also known as the White Witch. She's said to haunt the grounds of Rose Hall Plantation near Montego Bay. The story goes she was born in Haiti to an English mother and Irish father, spending most of her life there. When her parents died of yellow fever, she was adopted by a nanny who taught her witchcraft and voodoo. Annie moved to Jamaica and married John Palmer, owner of the Rose Hall Plantation. Corrupted by the witchcraft she had been taught, Annie murdered her husband and also her next 2 husbands, while also killing a number of different male plantation slaves. Her killing spree was eventually brought to an end when she herself was murdered by a slave named Taku. She had met her match in him, as he was also trained in the ways of witchcraft. Annie was buried in a tomb on the grounds. Local legend says that her tomb was supposed to be sealed with a voodoo ritual that would have kept her spirit in prison there forever. However, the ritual was never completed, leaving her ghost to roam free. Many have reported seeing her ghost riding her horse around the plantation or just stood on the balcony overlooking the grounds. Next up at number 5 now we have the cotton tree. Many Caribbean countries have spiritual stories linked to cotton trees. In Jamaica, some believe that cotton trees are the resting place of spirits of the dead, particularly its roots and branches. Many of the duppies we talked about earlier in the video are said to call a cotton tree their home. The belief is so prevalent that some people have refused to cut down silk cotton trees for fear of releasing the spirits inside. There was even a case in Guyana of a highway being split into 2 lanes during construction in order to avoid a sacred cotton tree there and not release its spirits. Moving on to number 4 now, we have the legend of Lover's Leap. In the 18th century there were 2 slave lovers named Mizzy and Tunky. Legend says that the slave master there took quite a liking to the girl. He intended to break them up and so showered her with gifts. In a bid to have her for himself, he arranged for her lover to be sold off to another estate. However, their love was too strong. One night they fled from the plantation. Eventually though, their captors caught up with them and chased them to the edge of a large cliff. After a few moments they made up their minds and knew what they wanted to do. Rather than face being caught and separated again, the pair chose to end their lives by jumping off the cliff together. Forevermore, that spot was named Lover's Leap in dedication to their love in the face of such evil. Local legend says that spirits still live there, bound to each other. Some say that if you stand on the cliff and look up on a clear night, you may catch a glimpse of 2 falling stars tumbling side by side. Next up at number 3 now we have the 3-legged horse and the whooping boy. This one's kind of a combo, don't say I never treat you guys. The 3-legged horse is another kind of duppy that many Jamaicans know about. As you can probably gather from the name, this spirit takes the shape of a horse with 3 legs. However, despite missing a leg, it can run faster than any horse you've ever seen. It kills its victims by blowing hot air on them. It roams the Jamaican countryside and can be seen by moonlight, striking fear into the hearts of witnesses. However, there are some ways to fight it and not be killed. Firstly, it will never attack you in the dark. It needs moonlight or artificial light to be able to attack you, so the darker the better. If you do find yourself being attacked in the light though, trees are your friend. It's said that the 3-legged horse cannot attack you if you climb up a tree. Only one being in the whole world can ride the 3-legged horse, and that is the whooping boy. He's another duppy which takes the form of a boy with long hair and red eyes. He also kills by breathing hot air on people. He gets his name from the wild whooping sounds that he cries out while wandering at night or riding the 3-legged horse. They're quite scary alone, terrifying when together. Moving on to number 2 now, we have the Flatbridge Horror. Accidents happen, but when they keep happening in the same spot, it does raise some eyebrows. Flatbridge is one of those places. Over the years it's seen a number of people die, far more than there should be. Some put it down to the bridge's poor condition, but there are many who blame the duppies. They say the spirits of those who died constructing the bridge now haunt it. They're the ones to blame for all the accidents and vehicles pulled into the river. They say when the water turns the colour of a green lizard, the duppies are going to pull someone in soon. Others say it's the work of mermaids who live in a bottomless hole just below the bridge. Many believe that the mermaids are the reason each attempt to build a ridge along the bridge has failed. However, there is some good to their story. Legend says that they can point the way to a gold table that lies in the water under the bridge. It surfaces on the hottest days at noon in the river. Perhaps the most recent story to come from this bridge happened in 2016 when a car plunged off it, killing 6 people. Shane Harris was a 19-year-old survivor. He said that when the car was in the water, he couldn't find a way out. Then he saw a bright white light, brighter than anything he'd seen before, and out of that light came a hand. He grabbed the hand, and when he opened his eyes, he was on the surface. He said that just before the crash, they were talking about the legendary tale of the mermaid. And finally, number 1 now, we have the man from the picture. This story was posted by a woman to a forum, and it goes like this. One hot summer night, she was cooling off by the window that had a side passage to her house which was secured by a metal grill. Nobody should be able to get in. She went to bed as normal, but then suddenly woke up from her sleep. She looked out of that same window, and there, standing, was a tall, elderly man. He had a stern look on his face. His hands were folded behind his back. He looked very real, but also kind of not at the same time. She stared at him for what felt like forever, until eventually she threw her sheet over her head and lay there trembling until finally falling asleep. She woke up the next morning and rushed to tell her grandmother what she had seen. She hadn't even even finish before her grandmother said, "Oh, you saw Jack last night?" She asked who Jack was. The grandmother went to look for something. She came back a few minutes later with a picture in her hand. In the picture there was a tall man who looked exactly the same as the man she had seen the night before at the window. She broke down in tears. It was her first ghost experience. She later found out that Jack was actually her great grandmother's father, and he was buried near the house on some family land. She said she never forgot the image of the man she woke up to standing at the window. Well, thank you, Jamaica, for such interesting and really creepy stories. I loved how unique they were too. Some of those are totally unique to Jamaica. I like that. We should try and do some more unique countries next. Do you guys know any countries whose scary stories are different to everyone else's? Let me know. Thanks for watching. I'm Danny Burke, and I will see you all in the next video.